Hi, my name is Sue and I'm the author of Taken, which is the story of how my three children aged 1, 3 and 5 were taken by the courts when I was pregnant with my fourth child in 2003. I would say at the time I was a loving mother devoted to the children. I lived in a close community just in a village outside London. I had a very supportive family. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't taking drugs. I was probably, you would describe me as any other mother around. I think what I struggled with most at the time was that in criminal law you are innocent until proved guilty. But in family law, where there's an allegation made against you, then you are actually guilty until you can prove your own innocence. The greatest struggle for me was accepting that without financial backing, I couldn't employ expert witnesses to prove my innocence. So we found ourselves really overnight catapulted from having quite a secure, normal family life to being thrown into the courts with social services being involved, expert witnesses, psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, psychologists. And what seemed really harsh was that the people that knew the children, the professionals that had been involved in their life, the teachers, the nursery workers, the doctors, the dentists, people that were involved in their everyday life were not allowed to testify to my parenting skills, to make any comment at all about what they'd seen. And the people that were brought into court were expert witnesses that had never met the children before, that were paid huge sums of money, £5,000 to £10,000 per report to the court. And I would find myself in a situation of reading reports that were basically untrue. The English family courts are unlike all the other courts because they are sworn to secrecy, so you can't actually say what's gone on inside the court. And I think there's so many shocking statistics that people are completely unaware of. And I think in publishing this book and raising some of those issues, I'd like to really bring to public attention what actually goes on, not only with social services, but behind that veil of secrecy in the family courts. So James Mumby, one of England's most senior judges and president of the Family Division of the High Court, clearly summarises the devastating consequence of child removal. He says, in the absence of the death penalty, removing a child from their parents is one of the most drastic actions a judge can take, with serious consequences that can last a lifetime. I had many dark moments in the court case. My children at one stage were only allowed to see me in supervised social service contact centres, and the children would leave begging to stay with me, which was very traumatic as a mother because one's instinct is to naturally protect your children and take them with you, and to peel them off your legs and actually have to push them away goes against everything that you believe as a mother is right. There were times when, for example, the judge in one hearing said that I'd lost the children and that they weren't to come home, and I actually returned home to 3 empty cots looking at their pyjamas and their teddy bears and knew I'd never see the children again. So in my darkest moments, I think the thing that I really needed was hope, and there were many instances where I felt hope was gone, and it was just being able to grab onto something to be able to fight a little bit further, not only for my survival but to secure their children's return. And I think in publishing the book, I'd like to raise a sense of hope for people that are in dark situations who can't see a way through, and just say there is always a way, there is always a glimmer of hope, and to push through to find it.